be in between. Beautiful morning to you wherever you're watching us from. This is Osrc Television and the program is Perspectives. And I'm glad to be here this morning with all my ladies in the house. You know, I don't work alone. I'm not Liverpool. I don't work alone. Especially on this program, I've got my delectable babies, ladies in the house that will be driving the show together. But mentioning Liverpool, it's a very sad one yesterday, where a player, one of the players, Diogo Jota, lost his life with his younger brother in a fatal motor accident. Diogo Jota wears number 20 in Liverpool. It's a very good player, a family man to the core. With 3 children. The sad part of this for me is the fact that he got married to his long-term girlfriend, whom he had 3 children with. You know, about 10 days ago, they cemented their relationship. And got married. And yesterday, he died with his younger brother, who is also a footballer. The football world, those who knows about him, they have money, you know. It's a very sad one. I'm saying starting with a sad one this morning, but it's worth mentioning. It's a young man, he's 28, he was 28 rather, and it's a very big loss. Let me let you meet my friends, my sisters in the house this morning. Let me start with Osrc Radio Pepperoni. Good morning, Osrc.
Good morning to you. The story you just mentioned of the Liverpool player, it's really sad because to think that he just got married, I think 2 weeks ago, like 14 to 10 days ago, it's just sad. I think now that they should even be like, okay, now I'm married, I'm not just a fiancé or the mother or the children. Now I'm supposed to enjoy marriage. And he's so young, 28, he's so young. He still had like a lot of years, promising years. Yes, well, it's the first time for us meeting this month, so it's still very okay to say Happy New Month.
Yes, Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you all. Happy New Month. And I think this is as it's the beginning of the month, I urge everybody, go back to your drawing board, come out with those plans, those strategies, those goals that you want to achieve. It's never too late to achieve them. And as you're working, also remember to work smart. I had a conversation with someone and we're like, what's more difficult than making money is sustaining and maintaining that money.
Yes.
You know, one thing, because you see a lot of people will be like, I had this thing before. I used to be like this you know, so for you to avoid that story that touches where you have to start telling people that, I was once, it's always good for you to not just work, but work
smart.
Yes, and that's what my what I'm actually telling everybody this new month: work smart, work smart.
I like that a lot. Working smart is very important, and I like the analogy of before. You see, if you think you're wealthy and you cannot manage that wealth very well, it will go with a snap of a finger, because you just said that you're mismanaging, and it now becomes history. You see yourself referring to what you were yesterday and all that. All right, Sharon Gabriel, good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Well, look amazing.
You too.
So in the spirit of Happy New Month, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Month, and it's the half of the year.
Oh, yes.
You know, it's not too late. Like Isisa said, it's not too late to achieve. It's not too late to start planning again. It's not too late to motivate yourself. I'm not here to motivate you this morning. You should motivate yourself. So it's half of the year, and you can still achieve more with the remaining half of the year. We have 6 months to go. So in the spirit of that remaining 6 months, do something with it.
You might not be motivating, but those words are quite encouraging. Sometimes someone out there needs to hear it to be able to, rise up to the challenge. Very important. No word should just get lost. Anything you hear is something that you should consider, especially good things. Words that can motivate, that can encourage, that can make you realize that, oh, have I been sleeping? Now it's time for me to wake up. All right, that's my ladies talking this morning. Happy New Month too to everyone watching from wherever you're watching it from this morning online, the terrestrial television, everywhere around the world. We're glad to be here. It's a new month. All right, our lineup. We'll take a short break soon. When we come back, we'll go straight to the newspaper headlines, and of course, we'll be having interviews on the program today. Also, we'll go to our trending story. So a real lot for you to enjoy this morning. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thanks for rejoining us. It's still Perspectives from your darling station, Osrc Television. And moving straight to newspaper headlines this morning. I'll kick off with the Daily Times. And here is a screaming headline saying, Electoral Reform, State Police, Local Government Creation, Top Constitution Review Agenda. That's coming from Bamidele, and page 2 of that page 2 of that newspaper has the story of the electoral reform, which is another in thing now that it's going on. Over 4 trillion naira debt, failed privatization blamed for power sector collapse. That's on page 5 of the newspaper, the Daily Times. The Daily Times. That's where we're taking our story from. Everyone says bandits abduct 60-year-old farmer, kill son in Kaduna attack. A sad one there. A 60-year-old man loses son to abduction. Bandits abducting a 60-year-old man. Go to page 5 of the Daily Times. You will see the story then. Ebonyi 18. Khan, NBA, youths want killer arrested, prosecuted. That's not just Khan, not just NBA, not just youths. I think all Nigerians have been saying that once there is a case of abduction, killing and all that, the perpetrators should be brought to book. A lot should be done to make sure that they are caught and prosecuted.
I think it would serve as a deterrent the rest of them, because when they see that these are the penalties, they wouldn't want to. Because in as much as they are taking life, I am very certain that they value their own life.
Of course, they value
their own life. Of course, we know that.
But we find it so easy to take someone else's life.
Yes, they can't even give.
They can't give.
They can't give. It's more like slaughtering a ram,
goat, chicken
without conscience, without guilt, no fear.
Exactly. That's why I remember last week we talked about the drug thing. A lot of them act under the influence of drugs and alcohol and all manner of things. Relief as NUT sets to end strike in FCT schools. Relief, really, page 6 as this time, because there have been meetings with different people. The FCT minister having meetings with the Nigerian Union of Teachers, FCT chapter, and ways of resolving. There have been cases where they had to be invited to DSS and all that. But it's high time they allow these children go to school, because whatever the situation is those children that are suffering, and we know the importance of education in Nigeria. So it's a good thing that it's coming to an end. All right, Senator Remi Tinubu donates 1 billion naira to victims of Plateau attack. That's another nice one from the First Lady, even though we don't have the office of the First Lady in our constitution. But the truth is, she's doing great things. You know, I was listening to a conversation on television this morning, and they're like, okay, if truly there is we know that our constitution doesn't, there is nothing like the office of the First Lady and all that. Where she gets it to fund from? Who is funding? You know, 1 billion naira is a lot. You know, and she's not just in Plateau that she did this. She has been going about, you know, donating, seeing how she can help the less privileged, and put smile, on people's face. Very, very important.
Okay. Moving on to Daily Trust, we have this headline screaming at us. I know I said screaming because actually, last week we were talking about defection, but now we have something more than just defection. We have coalition members move to exit old parties. Remember last week we were talking about defection from
PDP to APC, Labour to APC, and all that.
And now we have coalition. This is not just people moving. This is people coming to form another party. We are going to be talking about that on our trending story. So let's not go into so much details yet. Now we have INEC receives 12 additional applications for party registration, and that's on page 13 of the Daily Trust. Super Eagle goalkeeper Peter Rufai dies at 61. That's on page 39 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Okay, we have this also. Remi Tinubu returns to Plateau, donates 1 billion naira to victims. Yes. With $2 billion, One Capital Zenith Bank rated number 1 in Nigeria. We also have 2,000 hectares. My children have right to own land. Last week there have been lots of stories with Wike and his son. They're saying that he allocated some plots of land to his son. But I think they came out and said no, he didn't allocate land to his son in Abuja. But now this is saying 200 hectares, my children have, of course they have rights to own a land, but it should be done legally. Yes, I think that's where Nigerians have problem. Like the lands that you are allocating, is it done legally or is it an illegal means of attaining or gaining this land? All right, we have Senator's aide resigns over 20,000 naira salary. That's on page 9. Wow, 20,000 naira salary. I think that's a
what can we do with that?
You know, we were talking about salaries the other day where we spoke about some fuel attendants say they are being paid 10,000. Yes, and we know the current situation.
The economy is not even smiling at anyone currently.
20,000. When you take away your transport, what's left out of it?
Nothing.
Okay, I think that's all I have from the Daily Trust. Sharon.
Okay. We are going to the Guardian newspaper. Illusion of harmony. When politicians unite in power pursuit, sound governance. That's a big story on page 4 and 5. Article flays Tinubu overthrows snub of Nigeria. That's page 27 of the Guardian newspaper. APC convenes South-South Summit in Edo. That's on Guardian newspaper on page 29. 2027. I love Nigeria. 11 other groups seek INEC registration as parties. That's on page 6. Weekend North's opposition coalition as desperate power player defends reverse peace moves. That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Senate begins public hearing on constitution review in Lagos. We can find that on page 7. And NMA falls LG exports of doctors, skilled workers at St. Lucia. That's still on page 7 of the Guardian's newspaper. That's all for the Guardian's newspaper.
All right, we'll go straight to the Punch newspaper. 2027 showdown. Coalition slams Tinubu as Wike ADC trade blows. And here is a rider. Presidency brands ADC leaders, serial election losers. Also, FCT minister attacks Mark. Others, coalition kicks. Okay, and ECOWAS Bank approves $100 million for Lagos Calabar Highway. That's on page 22 of the Punch newspaper. Also, a tragedy has struck the football world in Nigeria as well. We talked about that of Liverpool earlier. Nigeria also lost their former goalkeeper, Peter Rufai, who died at 61. Tributes as Eagle legend Rufai dies at 61. That's on page 30 of the Punch newspaper. And we have capital projects got only 20% of 25 trillion naira 2024 spending. Go to page 21 of the newspaper, the Punch newspaper, you find the story there. That's about the Punch newspaper.
Okay, moving on now to the Daily Independent. Still have this our story that's busting everywhere. ADC coalition will set Nigeria back to decades presidency. Okay, we have some sales members looking for political relevance. Slams Buhari appointees for joining coalition. List why ADC coalitions can't mirror APC. ADC's coalition can't mirror APC. APC describes promoters as merchants of vendetta. Okay, Zenith rank number 1, Taiwan Bank in Nigeria for 16 years. That's on page 7. Senate considers proposal on electoral reforms, state policies, local government creation. That's on page 6. Coalition again. LP Slams Abure says it gave Obi blessings to participate. And that's on page 6. 2027, why Wike is already afraid of us by ADC. That's on page 6 of the Daily Independent. You know, I already said it that 2027 election is going to be tough.
It's game on.
It's back to back. Because now you see Wike and ADC. Wike is telling them ADC has nothing to do there, and Wike is telling them that the only party that even has enough strength and backing to face APC is PDP.
And the president said he said something about the ADC being politically displaced. I don't know if you saw something like that.
I do.
Yes, go on.
You know, it's just looking like the women on the street coming to church. They are the same people, but they're just dressed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what they're using to like compare them. That these are the same people. Why are you guys and I think I don't want to talk so much about it because it's still coming back on our trending story. So let's move on to still more stories on the Daily Independent. It says, my children have rights to own land. Okay, we spoke about that before. Of course, your children have rights to own land, but they should do it the legal way. And that's what Nigerians are coming out to say. We've made oil smuggling unattractive, says Tinubu. Okay, Damagun to be remembered for presiding over PDP final funeral. I think that's all. Okay, we have one more. Sanwo-Olu mourns ex-Super Eagle goalkeeper Peter Rafai. That's
Peter Rafai. Yes, that's all really. Though it's been for a long time. He's been battling ailment for a while. May so rest in peace.
That was one of our best.
Our best, the Super Eagle squad, our goalkeeper. May so rest in peace. I always say something when we all get to the bastard one by one, we'll alight from the bed.
Yes.
We'll pray that it's a sad one to the family, to the NFF, and of course to Nigeria as a whole. And someone look coming out quickly to react. It shows that he's also a football lover, and we all love football. Though not all of us, I don't know.
I actually do love football. I have lots of brothers, so you cannot run.
You cannot just
run. When you have brothers around, you have to love football.
Which club do you support?
I support Barcelona.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to you.
Oh, no, I'm not a football fan.
I support Sunshine Manchester United.
Okay.
All right, okay. Sharon, next one.
The Patriots Constitutional Summit. 700 delegates to brainstorm on way forward for Nigeria.
Which newspaper are we looking at?
The Nigerian Tribune.
Okay.
You can find that on page 2. Coalition. Nnamdi Usman Abure comes, resumes, tackles after Obi's romance with ADC. You can find that on page 3.
Sorry, you said something. Obi's romance.
Yeah,
that's something because I think Labour Party, they came out and gave Obi 48 hours ultimatum to officially, if you are leaving Labour Party,
let us know.
If you are supporting ADC,
let us know.
So this headline is saying Obi's romance is actually triggered something in me to be like, no, I have to react to this. Because right now it's looking like a romance. You are either here or there. It can't be one leg here. You have to
stick already. It's an ADC because it was at that meeting yesterday at the coalition ground, and together we could see him beaming with smile, with Atiku and the front and all that. And there was someone that was interviewed this morning on television, and they were asking him, okay, are you saying you're still in PDP or you are now in this new coalition party that you are in? And his response was, see, if the coalition has a party, it has a name. And I don't think you should be asking me this question. So it doesn't mean that I
know where exactly he is. He should come out and
Labour Party
is he here or here?
Because Labour Party is saying there is no official or formal resignation from the party.
Of course, they all have to do that.
Is it nice to just play the two?
I don't understand.
Because
you're going to be in this area.
A few weeks ago, it was rumored that there is going to be an alliance of Atiku and Obi for 2027 election. And now seeing that they are now finding themselves in
They're actually romancing.
There's a lot to say.
But S27 is going to be a bomb. And I cannot wait.
Okay, let's go to this day newspaper. Zenith Bank emerges Nigeria's #1 bank by tier 1 capital for the 16th consecutive year. Wow. Presidency ADC coalition will only drag Nigeria backward, threatening our democracy. We'll see how that goes. Like we said, a lot is yet to unveil itself before 2027. In visit to Kano, Shettima conveys Tinubu's condolences to Dante's family. That's on page 6 of this day newspaper. I think that's that about headline review this morning. I will go on a short break. When we come back, so might be hosting our guest on the show. Please stay tuned. many thanks for rejoining us. It's still Perspectives on Osrc television. Earlier on, I said we'll be having an interview. Our guest is already in the house. But before you meet our guest, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has said it did not approve the admission of a Federal University of Technology Akure graduate, Basola Jamiu Owodunni, whose records, according to the board, were not found in its central admissions processing system. JAMB disclosed this in a statement on Sunday, signed by its public communication advisor, Fabian Benjamin, following Basola's claim on social media that the board declared his university admission invalid 7 years after he commenced his studies. Basola said he sat for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in 2017. I was admitted in 2018, where he studied civil engineering and graduated in 2024 with a cumulative grade point average of 4.41. And there have been some reaction, especially from the university. Dami Basola was admitted into civil engineering at the Federal University of Technology Akure in 2018, which has been said the cost of trying to fill the appropriate form to be mobilized for the NYC in his final year, he discovered it as his admission was declared fake by JAMB. The university has reacted. The university was invited by the police, and all documents pertaining to his admission was presented for scrutiny. Thereafter, the police wrote their report and reported that it had been forwarded to JAMB headquarters for consideration. The university also took the extraordinary step of writing JAMB a reminder on the issue. FUTA has discharged its responsibility on the matter on behalf of Jamiu Basola and waits on JAMB, which flagged his status in the first place, to resolve the matter based on the documents and information supplied to them by FUTA relating to the status of Jamiu Basola. The university will continue to monitor the situation and provide all necessary information and guidance to aid the resolution of the matter. Alright, before I'd like to meet who I have in the studio, let's take a report on the past union leaders' stance on this matter. Good.
Let's regard the confirmation provided by the university management, which has led to Mr. Jamiu unjustly denial of mobilization for National Youth Service Corps, NYSC. This denial not only undermined his academic achievement, but also jeopardized his future and the opportunity that lies ahead for him as a graduate.
The group sees this development as a direct affront to the institution's reputation and academic credibility, and therefore issued an ultimatum to JAMB.
Thereby issue a 7-day ultimatum to JAMB to take immediate action to rectify the situation. That JAMB do the following. 1. The university name and image should be removed from the mess.
Current president of the institution's students' union body also faulted the examination body's claim.
The student union will continue to engage constructively with all parties involved, utilizing every appropriate channel to safeguard the interests, the dignity, and the future of all students of our institution. We remain committed to ensuring that justice, clarity, and due process prevail in this matter.
Past leaders of the Federal University of Technology Student Union
show this morning is the FUTA graduate himself, Jamiu Basola. Jamiu, good morning.
Good morning, Mama.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama.
So we are glad to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you very much.
How has all of this been for you?
It's been a tough time. hectic, confused. So on her support.
Well, tough time for Jamil, hectic one for him. It's a tough one because of all he has to go through at this time. Imagine 7 years in school, about to be mobilized for NYC, and Jamil saying, you've never been a student, you don't, your JAM results, whatever it is, did not appear on their portal. Jamil, let me ask, you took your JAM in 2017.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what was the process? How did you go about procuring your form and all that? Because we really need to know where all of this is coming from.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. 2017 immediately I finished.
You need to be more audible.
Okay, 2017. And the process actually started in 2016. I finished my school, my secondary school certificate. Yeah, Djibouti.
Okay.
So, and after that, I think I made up my mind that actually I'm not going to school. So I don't want to further my education. Not a final conclusion, but at that moment. And the reason being, as an orphan, I only have my auntie as my mom, as my dad, advice and everything, and we are like 3.
Okay.
So plus our own children, which they are 4. So while I was in secondary school, so I've taken it as a responsibility. I need to learn an handwork, which is styling and interior decoration. Before I graduate from school, immediately I graduate from school, I'm already a boss of myself. I did my freedom.
Graduated from
secondary school, yes. Immediately I graduated from secondary school, I did my freedom. I'm the boss of myself. So that's what I'm looking forward at. Okay, don't let me put this burden. Don't let me put this burden on this woman. Mm-hmm. Let me try and just also myself. Let's see if the possibility will come later on. If it is poly, I'll just put my head and do the necessary. So I was not very, very, desperate to go to school. So, but because the woman knows my academics, she knows my academic record right from secondary school. I won a scholarship while I was in primary school. So from the then governor of Ogun State, Otunba Gbenga Daniel. So while I was in secondary school, I happened to be the best graduating student amidst my set. So, she was part of the process. Like I lost my dad while I was in secondary school. So since primary 6, so she has that record. So when I told her that I'm not interested in going to school, she was very mad. Like, with this, are you telling me, So I just have to reconsider. So then I obtained the JAM form. I registered for JAM. That was also in Djibouti. So it was the same center I registered for JAM. That was where my junior brother registered for JAM, and he already graduated now. Already graduated also. He went to Ilese. So after the registration, then I sat for the exam. But a key note is that a day before I sat for the exam, I had a very, very catastrophic attack. Yeah, twice. So I was like paralyzed or something like that, due to the nature of my illness or something like that. So, but I have to push myself. The next day, I have registered for. I just have to sit for the exam. So I wrote the exam at Ibefun, just a neighboring town close to Djibouti International College, Ibefun. That's where I sat for the exam. And I was not even the only thing on my mind. Let me just sit for this exam, do what I can do, and that's all. But before I sit for the exam, immediately I made up my mind that I'm going to write this JAM. I also double on my mind that okay, I'm trying to, just cut out everything and just to blue JAM mind. Maybe 400 over 400 or something like that. But unfortunately, the illness and everything, I just put in my best struggle to do it. Unfortunately, with everything, I still had 253 as my result. That's my JAM score. Yeah, that's my JAM score. So since then, after then, in my registration, we have to choose first choice, second choice, third choice. And before that, I told you I'm already satisfied, Tyler.
Yes.
Even before I was certified, I already done more. I was also learning bricklaying.
Okay.
I wanted to learn the two together, so I've been in the process. I still remember my boss then. That's Babaja. That's my boss with bricklaying. So I learned entirely from Fabulous. So I've been in the process of construction, building, and everything. So immediately I even graduated, I work with this construction company, PW. It's a very popular construction company. I work with them as a craftsman. So they were doing the construction of Badongaj road there, interstate. So I've been in the process. I say, what am I going to study? I'm already in this process, civil engineering.
Yes.
Let's go for it. Let's go. So my first choice civil engineering, second choice civil engineering, third choice civil engineering. If not for that, the fourth choice is just kind of I think this kind of college.
Yes.
So
they don't have.
So I just choose that for choosing sake. I know that's not even my portion. So that was my choice. So
And which school did you
school, Futa, first choice.
First and second?
Yes, and something like my mom, due to the nature of my illness, she said I should choose a school that is close, and that is, I choose Futa as first choice. OOU as second choice, that's Olabisi Onabanjo University, and then Yabatek as the third choice. So she was like, I should choose a school that's very close, where at least she can get my auntie, yes, where she can be chosen. But me, I've only been concerned about my decision have been based on her own concern. Something that's going to ease her pain, ease her burden, ease everything about her. That's not it. The only is state university. Cost of money. Very much expensive. Yes. So I'll get definitely. I'm going to do everything I can do. Going to a federal university, and that would be much like yes. So I put in my best after rating my data. So we are invited for post-UTME. And the key note is that I don't think I can be invited if I can meet the criteria.
Okay.
Because I also wanted to ask,
Definitely.
how did you get his call if Jam doesn't have your record? Are they trying to say you came up with the score yourself?
From what we can get from their different spokesperson at different intervals, yes.
Oh, that's
you can say it.
Saying
they are saying that they implied it.
Okay.
They implied it. The deduction is they implied it. The memo of analytical they released on them Twitter some days back when the whole frenzy became so much, and was that I was a known entity within the admission system or something like that. And towards the end, they said that anybody that was found in the process of getting fake admission. So every of their word and their dispositions, they imply such. Okay,
but when you got into school, I know during your 100 level, before you get to start attending class, there's always something called clearance.
Yes, clearance.
Yes,
so during your clearance, I know during my time, we do print out JAM admission letter.
Original.
Do you have a JAM admission letter?
I have it even here.
The original.
Yes, because there is a duplicate, there is original.
There's one for institution, one
because when you are doing your clearance, you have to submit one. And I know it's part of the criteria. So if you have it, I'm still wondering how come they are saying
how come they didn't say it at that time?
Because I think most cases it's at that time that when you are unable to bring or provide a JAM admission letter, I think from the school end they would say, oh no, you cannot be admitted.
Exactly.
But if you provided that before starting, I don't see why it's now an issue when you've graduated.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so what's Futa? I read the press statement from Futa actually.
Yes.
Like what you're saying, if it was fake, I believe that it is the school that should be the first to know.
Yes.
Are they saying what's
the school stands on?
The school is standing with me 100%.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yes, 100%. And the reason why I said that is that first, I've obtained my certificate from the school. So that summarizes a whole lot of things. You can't get a certificate without due process.
Yes.
So aside my certificate, I've processed my transcript. I got my transcript with me. I've gotten the notification results even before the certificate. And one thing is that when I was taken to the police station last year.
You were taken, because when I read through some of the reports, I learned because they said you are even supposed to be arrested and you submitted yourself.
I submit myself voluntary. I have nothing to hide.
That's
I have nothing to hide. I know you can't lock me up at least without a court. Without the judge making a final conclusion about the matter. I'm very sure that.
Okay, so what did they say?
So from the DSS to the police station. Okay, so at the police station, they said I should bring evidence after they've collected a lot of statements, videos and stuff like that. So I gave them my admission letter, JAMB, original JAMB admission letter. I gave it to them, but they say that is not sufficient.
So what would be sufficient?
So that is where my school came in.
Okay.
A day before then, I was taking a base station. My school was not there. So the second day, I was released because someone stood in for me as a guarantor. That was my pastor. So I went back to school to explain the whole matter and escalate it within the school system. So the second time, they do their own fundamental findings, and they came the next day to to just defend my case. So that is the school came in, and the school was represented by the admission officer, that is Mr. Adetono.
Okay.
So he came and this guy we admitted him with due process.
Okay. Before you go on, I would like to see the original JAMB slip that you said you have a look. We would like to have a look. I mean, for Nigerians to
because for you to even be able to print it out, you have to, I think maybe with your scratch card.
Yes, we got a JAMB scratch card.
Yes, with your registration number. So if you're not even approved at the first place, I don't see how you'll be able to have that. That's the thing.
Okay, we're trying to.
I think that's it exactly. That this is how it looks like. This one has duplicate, then there's another one duplicate.
Yes.
Original one.
I won't have the other one. That one has been submitted to the school.
To the school, yes. The original is being submitted to the school.
This is the original JAMB results.
No, the admission letter. Yes.
From JAMB of the guest this morning. They are saying it's fake. All right, you were saying something. What did the police say?
First, I would like to know how did this all came up with you having a fake JAMB or something? How did it start?
It was at the point of registering for NYC.
Yes. Like I said, after I did I finished my final my last paper December 2023.
Okay.
But project helped me back. Okay. And then without project is still part of our yes. So I think I finished my project around April. Yes.
2023 or
2024. The next year here. April, yes. So after that, so I went to the relevant offices to do my final year clearance.
Yes.
At the departmental office, at the school office, at each laboratory we have used in the history of our academic journey. So after then, Senate approved the graduation list, yes, of which my name was written.
Inclusive.
Yes, they pasted there, the student affairs division. So immediately I saw that, I know, oh my God, thank you very much.
You were done, yes.
This news story developed.
Yes.
Okay, so we saw a video earlier of the past union leaders of FUTA also standing with you in this. So far, what has been the disposition of JAMB? Are they still standing on their ground that
it's fake, or they are trying to look into it and see how they can come to and maybe stabilize the whole issue?
Okay, what the only article, where I say article, the only public post or public statement that JAMB has released, and I think they released that when the pressure becomes so much on Twitter, and people begin to take it, and that was the reason why they even came out with that public post. And that statement was still like they are still standing their ground. And I think I summarized it And that's where they mentioned my name was not on caps, that anybody that my name was not on cap is fraud, that I'm kind of an unknown entity within the admission system. People should be careful obtaining fake admission, letters.
Because of our time,
Okay.
in just one sentence, what do you want Nigeria to do for you at this time?
Okay, thank you very much. What I want Nigeria to do is help me, like I say, indulge JAMB to come out sincerely and verify my admission status with them. They should open my portal so that all due documents or due evidence will be reviewed. And secondly is that they should come and prove that indeed I've been involved in one way or the other in admission irregularities.
Yes,
With
irregularities.
JAMB, either writing JAMB, either obtaining admission letter, or with my school, maybe conniving with a staff member to rig the admission process. They should come out with evidence.
Yes.
So that is very
If no evidence is out,
if no evidence is out, they should please
do the needful.
rectify my image amidst thousands of people that are fully aware of their false allegation. Because if I want to apply for scholarship now, if you tap my name on Google now, see my name, though there are no final conclusion based on the discretion of the journalists that are posting it, but still yet the image is there, and
There's still a question mark
yes,
on your
there's still a
image.
question mark, because people overseas will not want to go deeper. Let's go and verify what is what.
Quickly, you did 7 years in school.
Yeah,
Why?
I did.
Instead of
Yes, our engineering course is 5 course. I did it because of Corona period and coronavirus and ASU strike. So it's never due to carry over.
All right, okay. Because we need to go to the newsroom now for developing stories. That's Jamie Basola, the FUTA graduates who have been in the eye of the storm. That Jamie is saying they don't have his record, and he graduated with 4.41 distinction. Well, let's go to the newsroom. Thank you, Basola, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. Straight to developing stories.
Hello and welcome to News of Developing Stories. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. The Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, has been described a visionary leader whose dedication to excellence in the media industry continues to make a significant impact. This recognition came during the inauguration ceremony of the 5th Akure Chapter Chairman of the Nigeria Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, which he was honored with Transformative Leadership Award for his contributions to societal development. Blessing Obi reports that the DG, alongside other distinguished personalities, was honored at the event.
Renowned for his excellence in journalism and broadcasting, Kenneth Odushola Stevenson was among the notable individuals celebrated for transformative leadership and innovative strides in the public sector. It was a moment of pride as the Director General, CEO of Osrc Media Group, was presented with an award of excellence by the Akure chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. As he stepped forward to receive the honor, the award, titled Transformative Leadership Award, was presented to him amidst applause.
We hereby present this award to you today for your transformational leadership.
In his acceptance speech, the Director General described the award a shared recognition for both the broadcasting and engineering communities, acknowledging the collaborative efforts driving growth and innovation.
When this came, I just believed that I should accept it, because not only because of the OSRC, but because of what I've done for the engineering community over the years. But then what is important is that this particular award is very, very important to me, because whatever we do in broadcasting is engineering. And because it's engineering, we must also do it with precision. And we have the best team in that place, and that makes it very easy for me to achieve what we've achieved so far.
He was further commended for his leadership in transforming staff welfare and driving operational excellence at the Ondo State Radivision Corporation.
He's a man of dignity with a high level of humility. He's a person that is dedicated to any cause that he believes in. He's someone that when he set his face or set his eye on something that he's going to do, he will definitely accomplish it.
Other distinguished awardees, including the commander of Ondo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun Corps, were also recognized for their significant contributions to security and community development.
Now to Ekiti State, where the House of Assembly has confirmed Justice Lekon Ogumoye, the substantive Chief Judge of the state. Justice Ogumoye had been acting as the Chief Judge of the state since November 2024. The Assembly, which was presided over by the Speaker, Adeboye Aribasoye in Ado-Ekiti, confirmed Ogumoye as many lawmakers extolled his virtues. Earlier, the House Committee Chairman on Judiciary and Legal Matters, Mr. Babatunde Oke, read the committee's findings on Ogumoye to the Assembly. The Speaker announced the confirmation of Ogumoye after a voice vote as the substantive Chief Judge of the state. The Lagos State government has vowed to begin the enforcement of compulsory health insurance policy for residents. According to the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Zamba, the enforcement will begin in earnest early 2026, in line with the executive order by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in July 2025. The order mandates that residents must show evidence of enrollment in a health insurance scheme before accessing public health services, excluding emergencies. To further strengthen identity management and prevent fraud, Zamba disclosed that it has partnered with the Lagos State Residents Registration Agency to roll out biometric card readers across health facilities. The Permanent Secretary noted that the state currently has over 865 accredited providers, ranging from primary healthcare facilities to specialists in dental and eye care, as well as community pharmacies. The House of Representatives has called for the immediate establishment of a permanent military base in the Madagali Michika axis of Adamawa State, following renewed attacks by armed assailants that left several residents dead and many others abducted. This followed a resolution passed at plenary where lawmakers decried the persistent security breaches in the area and mandated a thorough investigation into the violence. The House also resolved to investigate the persistent security breaches in the northeast, particularly in the Madagali-Michika axis of Adamawa State. It equally called on the National Emergency Management Agency to provide urgent humanitarian support to displaced residents in the affected communities. House of Representatives mandated its joint committees on national security and intelligence, defense and police affairs to investigate the recurring security breaches and submit its findings and recommendations within 2 weeks for further legislative action. Former Super Eagles goalkeeper and 1994 Africa Cup of Nations winner Peter Rufai is dead. The news of Rufai's passing was confirmed by the Nigeria Football Federation via its X handle. Fondly known as Dodo Mayana, Rufai made 65 appearances for the national team and was part of the golden generation that lifted Nigeria's second AFCON title in Tunisia in 1994. He also represented the country at the 1994 and 1998 FIFA World Cup tournaments. Rufai was 61. May his soul rest in peace. And that's Developing Stories. We'll now take you back to our studios for the continuation of Perspectives. Stay with us. Go.
Welcome back from the newsroom. We'll continue with Perspectives as we go straight to trending stories. We have quite a lot of trending stories coming from our end to you this morning. I'll be starting with this one from Ondo State. Akeredolu's death probe sparks tension in Ondo State. The recent petitions and calls on the Ondo State government to commence an investigation into the death of former Governor Rotimi Akeredolu have sparked tension in the state. Reactions have continued to trail the calls, with prominent indigents calling on Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa not to dabble into the matter. It was reported that Akeredolu died on December 27, 2023 in Germany after a protracted illness. After his death, Aiyedatiwa, who was the acting governor at the time, was sworn in as substantive governor. On Monday, the government said it had received many petitions from residents of Owo and some professional groups to probe the death of the former governor. The Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Dr. Kayode Ajulo, in a statement, confirmed that the government had received petitions demanding a former coroner's inquest into the death of the former governor. Ajulo, in a statement, noted that the public had the right under the coroner's law of Ondo State to demand clarity in cases where foul play was suspected or questions lingered, adding that the law would be allowed to take its course without bias or sentiment.
Looking at this, and I asked myself, is there any need for clarity? Because just like before his death, he was healed for a long time, and I think they said prostate cancer or something like that. So I'm kind of wondering what is suspicious? What made the old death suspicious? And I don't really understand why they are calling for investigation on his death.
If that will bring peace to the citizens of Owo and every other person that is looking forward to it, then why not? We all know how he died, yes. But to just quench the curiosity of individuals requesting for investigation, of course, we should just do it for peace sake. For peace sake, because we don't know how this can linger or how where it will linger to. So just for peace sake, of course. Let's see how it goes. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, as we will all keep our fingers crossed to see where this is going to end. But a lot of people have also come out to say it's necessary to be calling coroner's inquest on this. This will mean, some are saying, why not allow the dead
to rest.
Because I think I saw a post that said if it even has to bring in his body out for re-examination, they would have to. So I just like you said, let the dead rest.
That's quite.
But then, just like you also said, if to satisfy their curiosity, if it has to be done, then let it be done.
Well, curiosity or not, let's see how this ends, because for me, I still stand on the side. Who am I? A lot of people, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice says there are petitions asking that
not just one petition, not two petitions.
That's a lot. It's they're calling for this inquest to ascertain the cause of death of the former governor. And like you said, you mentioned the fact that it was known that he died of protracted illness. Some said it's
cancer.
What's it called now? The cancer.
Prostate cancer.
Some also said is leukemia. So
that's true. I
think that's where the curiosity is coming from.
But then I think the family should actually know, because he died in Germany, so there should be a death certificate.
Yes.
So I think the cause of death should be there. The cause of death, it should be written or stated on the death certificate.
Anyway, if the public wants it.
I will
to say no.
Let's move ahead. 2027 presidency breaks silence over ADC coalition. ADC conclave of internally displaced politicians. The presidency on Wednesday described the new opposition coalition, the African Democratic Congress, as a conclave of what it called internally displaced politicians. Reacting to the unveiling of the ADC's new leadership in Abuja on Wednesday, Special Advisor to the President on Policy Communication, Daniel Bwala, on his X handle at Bwala Daniel, described the politician realignment as a dead on arrival party. As he said, and I quote, "Association of wild goose chasers consisting of internally displaced politicians forming a dead on arrival party, better described in his words of as Peter Obi as structure of criminality," Bwala wrote in his post. While Bwala did not name individuals, his remarks appeared to target the architects and promoters of the ADC, a platform touted as a broad coalition opposition politicians aiming to challenge the ruling All Progressives Congress in the 2027 presidential or general elections. ADC members include former members of the PDP and APC who have defected amid internal disputes or personal ambitions. And they include a former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, a former Senate President, David Mark, a former Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, a former Osun State Governor, Rauf Aregbesola, and Mr. Peter Obi, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 poll.
Yes, when we were taking this news paper headlines, I said we have a lot to talk about. Because, a few weeks ago we were still talking about defections from parties, moving from PDP to APC, from LP to APC. And then we're already asking ourselves, how is 2027 election going to be? Is it going to be a one-party system? Are we going to just have just one party? Now, if everybody's moving to APC, then who is going to be the opposition party? But now coming out this week, and now we can see a coalition of people from various parties, and that's where Peter Obi comes in again. A few weeks we had rumors that they think Peter Obi and Atiku, they are coming together for 2027 election. I don't know which is going to be the president and which is going to be I don't know that yet, but I know that they said they are coming together. And now see that
when power pass power, you got Johnson.
When they said something that if we have the same interests, regardless that we are not friends, we will turn to friends.
Yes.
So I think that's what's happening now. And it's raising lots of questions that what are the intentions for this coalition? Is it because you actually have the interest of the people at heart? Or is it because they came out and they're like, we are trying to unseat the current president for 2027 election? And then we have some reactions. I think
the funny one was when Mr. President said they are internally displaced politicians. I'm like, okay,
the ADC coalition, we put Nigerians first, says Obi. He's coming out and saying that with ADC, the coalition of this new party, the coming up of this new party is going to consider Nigerians first. But my question is, who are the people that makes up this new party? Is it not still the same old politicians from the PDP, and the APC? Yes. So what's changing? And if you feel like the coalition is going to birth a new Nigeria and bring Nigerians first, why didn't you just put in that same effort in your previous party?
And the funny part is, he has not even left the previous party.
And so Labour Party are currently dragging him, giving him a 48-hour ultimatum to formally, if you are leaving LP, tell us you're leaving.
If you're not leaving, tell us you're not leaving.
And I think I saw the headline that talked about romance. Yeah, that you cannot be romancing both parties.
You need to stand.
If you are in APC, if you are in ADC, let us know. If you are in LP, let us know.
So that we don't get confused. And by the way, 2027 is just by the corner.
It's just by the corner.
So he has to make that decision so that we know how to work towards it. Make some adjustments and the rest.
And then we have Wike who came out and he's saying all of this that you people are doing, the only party that is fit and enough to fight for this 2027 presidential seat is PDP. I said this earlier, like a few weeks ago, that if everybody moves to APC, why are you so sure that the people that have already been there would allow you take some steps that just coming in? So of course we all know some of them go there for their personal interest.
Yes.
But now if you're coming there, don't you met some people in that room? What makes you feel they'll give you the space to come and overtrain them?
Yes.
So I guess that is why
you're coming to my house.
You're coming to my house. In the house we have a seat for daddy and we have a seat for
we have plates for mommy, we have plates for
daddy. So what makes you feel like you're coming to my house and you want to come and serve you? Of course, no. So I think that's where the coalition is coming from. These people are like, it's like the future is not bright in this place.
But in another thing that people have been talking about is even that is about the leadership of the ADC, that's the coalition. The party was kind of already existing.
Yes, it was.
And that there's a coalition now, and all of a sudden, new leadership is up. David Mark is made the leader. Rauf Aregbesola, those who are coming to join as the secretary. What happened? Although, of course, the former ADC chairman was part of this whole process, who said, okay, he's leaving the leadership. But the core ADC members are already happy about it.
I think this is,
and there's also saying this is going to be a dead on arrival.
This is what we call power
and all that.
This is what we call power past power.
Yes.
Because now, if you want that party to actually stand and have force, you need the people that are in authority into the leadership system. So you don't expect that those people will come to your party and then you would lead them. Those people are known to be leaders. They're known to be the ones that the foundation of authority. Yes. But when they come out, when you see them, you will know authority. Yes. When you see them, you see power. So I feel like they come in, of course you should know that these people, they are going to aid us. 2027. Yes, we are looking forward to it.
We are looking forward to 2027.
Okay, and yes, we have lots of reaction. I think Wike came and he's also attacking ADC. ADC, they're also coming and giving.
Everybody's just attacking themselves.
But I still feel right now, Peter Obi should still let us know his stance.
His stance.
If you're leaving LP, let us know. Because then I think you also came out last time and you were like, LP is the way. With LP, Nigeria has a change that they've been looking for. Now you're coming back with ADC and saying ADC is the truth and the light. ADC is democracy, and all that. I feel it should pick a stance and stop this romancing that is doing.
But the good thing is we all have Nigeria at heart.
Yes.
So whatever it is, whether APC, whether PLP, whether the ADC, as long as
yes, the aim, Nigerians sort of
exactly that. So as long as we have the interest at heart, fine, we are good to go.
Of course,
we are good to go. You know, if you remember, the former name they wanted to have for it was ADA. I'm sure because a lot of Nigerians.
So
at the end of the day, it's ADC. We are here. We will continue to be here.
We are waiting. We are watching patiently.
Moving ahead, let's go to another story. Ibadan police students stage massive protest, shut down school gates over renaming of Olunloyo Polytechnic. Okay, trying to get this story. The students of the Polytechnic Ibadan have staged a massive protest over the renaming of the institution of Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic Ibadan. The students who came out in large numbers shut the main entrance gate at the South Campus and other school gates in protest against the recent development. Recall that the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde, in his brief remarks at the Interdenominational Commendation Service held for the late former governor at the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, Ibadan, announced that the institution would henceforth be addressed as Omololu Olunloyo Polytechnic Ibadan. Okay, so the students are saying we don't want the name.
But then, do you think the protest was necessary? It's just change of name, except there are other implications that are not being said.
It's not just about the change of name.
Okay.
It's change of everything. You know, some people still want to make the mistake of calling it by its previous name and making adjustments and all that for students and other people that have graduated. What will happen to the previous certificate for those that have actually graduated? Is there any way they would change the certificate to get the new name or something?
I think that's actually something I've actually never put into consideration. When the name of a university or polytechnic is being changed, what happens to the previous?
It doesn't affect the certificates of the previous ones. It's just when Adekunle Ajasin University was changed, it used to be Ondo State University, but it was changed to Adekunle Ajasin University at Kumbako. You know, it doesn't affect the certificate,
so it still stands. Okay.
But one wants to ask, why exactly
was it changed? Yes, I think that's the question.
This is not the first time
we are hearing
such change. Yes, a particular person. So I think there's a lot going on as regards that. We also know that at least the daughter of Olunloyo, that's Kemi,
Dr. Kemi.
Yes, Dr. Kemi. It's also not. She wasn't also in good terms with the
name. Before his death. I think she labored him with all sorts of allegations. Yes.
All sorts of names. It's not about abandonment.
So I think
so many things, and so. I guess
the issue is with the person and not the name that was shared. I think maybe they just felt like this person is not
who knows
coming from his own child, his own daughter,
speaking against him, and not just it's not a positive. You know,
positive thing, yes.
From negative.
So I guess maybe it's they have an issue with the person that bears the name and not just the name itself. Like if maybe it was a random change with any other name, maybe, just maybe.
So
I don't know.
Maybe, but we'll know with time. why exactly, what's wrong? Why are they protesting? Which, okay, they don't want a lawyer. Is there a name they prefer?
Maybe they still want to retain the previous name.
Want to retain
the old name.
Well, we'll still hear more on that. Moving on, tragedy as 23-year-old dies by self-stabbing in Delta State. A 23-year-old man, Mr. Thank God Elufo, has stabbed himself to death behind Nwodo Estate in the Ajayi Bonsack layout area of Asaba, the Delta State capital. Reports gathered on Monday that the incident happened on Sunday after the deceased's elder brother asked him to dress up for an outing. An eyewitness told newsmen on the condition of anonymity that when the incident happened in the night, a call was put across to the vigilante chairman in the layout, Mr. Okolo, who visited the scene. He said, and I quote, "The incident happened behind Nwodo Estate in Ajayi layout. They called the vigilante chairman to inform him. I went there with the vigilante chairman, Mr. Okolo, on Sunday night, and according to his elder brother, who claimed he asked him to dress up for an outing, he said the brother was waiting for him, not knowing that his younger brother had entered the kitchen and stabbed himself. So when we came there, we found his body in the kitchen. The vigilante chairman in the layout called the DPOB division into division, who sent some officers to the scene around 11 p.m. His body was removed by the police to deposit in a morgue. He said the young man survived a poisoning by an unknown person last year. Since then, he has been acting funny. Sometimes he will start shouting that people wanted to kill him, but his brothers did not understand. With the newsman, when the newsman contacted the state police public relations officer, SP Bright Idafe, on Monday, he confirmed the incident.
Yes, this comes back to us talking about depression. Because for you to, I don't know if it wasn't linked to hard drugs. So I think it's more about depression. We need to take our mental health seriously. You see, people around you, when you notice some kind of behaviors, they've changed. They're very outgoing and outspoken, and all of a sudden they are being reserved. And you know, oh, this is not how this person behaves normally. I think these are things that we need to pay more attention to. You just don't leave people by themselves and say, oh, maybe you want to be quiet. It will be okay. Sometimes you put their mental health into consideration. And the fact that they mentioned that maybe some months ago or last year, he was also poisoned by an unknown person.
I think they should have investigated that.
I think that brings me back to even the brothers in the house. I feel they need to investigate everybody because since he was poisoned last year by an unknown person, so in this case everybody is a suspect. And then he killed himself or he stabbed himself in their house. Now the brother said he was probably outside waiting for him because they want to go out. Now there is, I'm not insinuating anything, but I feel the whole issue needs to still be properly investigated.
Yes, I think he was traumatized, you know, based on the poisoning aspect.
I'm not knowing where it came from.
Everything was traumatized. Everything maybe affected him mentally. You know, seeing vision or hallucinating that people want to kill him. I think it's based on the poisoning that was.
And it wasn't stated if the poisoning was done at home or outside. So that's why I said they need to investigate.
The whole thing needs to be investigated.
It needs to be investigated. Questions need to be asked.
There are lots of questions. Who poisoned him? In the first place, where was he poisoned? Do what? Is it drink? Is it food? Whatever means which was being poisoned. And what was the reaction knowing that your brother was poisoned. How did you react? What was the necessary thing? Was it reported?
Yes. Was it?
How was it stabilized after the poison? So there are so many questions to it.
Yes.
You know, and then to the extent of him killing himself or stabbing himself.
In the house.
There are so many questions to this.
Because you know it takes you a lot. See, mentally it takes a lot for you to do that. It takes a lot for you to do that. So maybe he didn't even feel safe in his own house.
Exactly. That's because you're not doing it to someone right now. You're doing it to yourself.
Without considering how your siblings would react,
how you would feel,
the pain would cost them and even cost yourself. So I feel the whole issue still needs to be investigated. But it needs to start from the house, which is
the house.
Yes.
And also, this also takes me to want to talk about being our brother's keeper. Because the truth is, for a person who has gone through the challenge of being poisoned, I would say the family, because they keep talking about the brothers, we don't know where the parents are in this picture. You know, they were not observant enough to know
more like being careless.
Yes, it's actually going through a lot. For someone who has been screaming,
they are trying to kill him,
especially after it was discovered that he was poisoned and he survived, and still they just let him be all by himself. See, people, especially in this part of the world, in Nigeria, we don't know the importance of,
therapists.
Exactly. You know, going for counseling,
psychiatric check. So, you know, people think when you talk about psychiatry it's until you're roaming the streets it's not.
So many things involved. So for and after the poison, you discover this kind of behavior about him screaming. I think it was not taken care of. Mentally
okay at that time.
They took it for granted.
You know, I think it's a thing around us here. Maybe when someone just complains, be like, go and rest, you'll be fine.
And now with him screaming, people are trying to kill him and all that. For someone to start screaming that people are trying to kill him, I think that we should look at those
it's
people around him.
Nonchalant way of reacting to things. Is screaming people are trying to kill. They will just attribute it to the fact that actually people are trying to kill. After all, it was poison. You understand? So to take further check on this, it was not done.
It wasn't done.
It's not.
But it's sad because it's
really sad. It's really sad.
And in his short time on earth, he has
gone through this, being poisoned, and he survived it. Now stabbing himself.
It's indeed a very tough.
It's a sad one.
Please may so rest in peace. But please, we need to be our brother's keepers. We need to watch out for one another. The moment you see that someone is not behaving the way
they used to,
don't just say, oh no more, it's out there. I beg.
If someone is trying to shut himself out or herself out, please check on that person. If the person is not posting as the person is used to post on social media, please check on that person.
Please check on yourself.
Please check on that person.
It's very important. Moving ahead to this one, 4 drowned in Gombe flash flood that's coming from the police. No fewer than 4 persons were drowned in flood waters following the onset of the rainy season in Gombe. The public relations officer of the Gombe State Police Command, Buhari Abdullahi, confirmed the incidents in a statement on Tuesday. He said the command received report of 4 incidents of drowning that occurred at Ayinwari Miso, Bojude, Bajoga, and Difa communities in Ako, Kwame, Funakaye, and Yamtu Deba local government areas of the state. He said the victims were children and teenagers who drowned in rivers, erosion sites, and unprotected water channel. He said, and I quote, the Gombe State Police Command wishes to alert and sensitize members of the public on the need for heightened caution and vigilance around water bodies. This is in view of the rainy season, as cases of accidental drowning continue to pose a serious public safety concern. He also advised residents of the state to adhere to the safety guidelines to prevent loss of lives. Avoid swimming in open or unregulated water bodies, river and erosion channels, and are not safe for swimming, especially during heavy rainfall when water currents may be unpredictable. He also said this, which I will mention: monitor children at all times. Parents, guardians, and school administrators are strongly advised to keep close watch over their children and students and prevent them from going outdoors while raining or wandering near water bodies.
Yes, the rains are here. And we keep talking and try to always sensitize people about when it rains, always ensure, even before it rains, it doesn't need to start raining before you take good care of the drainage in the front of your house, the drainage in your community, the drainage in your environment. Because at the end of the day, these are things that cause flooding. You start complaining of erosion, you start blaming the government, but do you know that you have a part to play? It's not a major part. Yes, a major part to play. It's not every time that you're waiting for. The government is not going to come and clear your drainage for you. Saturdays we have sanitation days. It takes nothing from you. When you're done cleaning inside your house, come out and clean outside your environment. Sometimes it could even be sands. You can pack them up. So when it rains, this water have free flows. And secondly, when it's also raining, check on your children. That's not the time for the children to come out and do rain and go away and the rest. That's not the time for you to be doing that. And I think another habit is when it's raining, we tend to just see the water and feel we can tiptoe inside to get to our destination.
There's a proverb that says you cannot test the depth of the water putting your two legs.
We are fond of that as Nigerians. When it rains, that is when we feel, but where I'm going to, I'm already late. Maybe I can go inside. Now you don't know the current at which the water is coming with. You don't know the force. You can see cases where you see what people are being swept away by water. Cars are being swept away by water. Because even road users, drivers, when you see a big flood that is flowing, you will not know where the drainage is, where the gutters are. You feel like, my car is powerful. Is it not this car? Yes, I want to fire it inside. And I've seen cases where even cars are being swept away by erosion. Yes. So this is not the time where you'll be testing if your car is powerful or testing if the water is deep. You want to tiptoe through it for your safety and that of your children. And that of your children. Yes. And another thing is, Nigeria has this love. I don't know if I should call it love for putting death into the drainage whenever it's raining. You don't know where this death is landing. True. You don't know. So it comes back to you. But in form of flooding and everything. And I want to give the government an applaud. There's a road at Ayedun Leo Junction area that they are working on. They are expanding the bridge. It's a good thing because when rain falls, that place used to be heavy, flooded. And it's close. There's a particular house close to the moat. It's almost washing it. I think that takes us back to building of houses in close to waterways. I think it's also an habit. We always come out and we're crying, government do this. Now I feel that I know that person is probably coming out every day when it's rains to say, government come and do something. Government has come to this. This is not the government first. You need to put yourself. Was that land, was it properly gotten? Because I'm sure they would not allocate a land that is going to obstruct waterways. Yes. So you first of all, why would you even build a house or structure a house in close to the waterways? So we need to also take safety into our hands. It's not every time we call on the government. And we should consider the children, especially the children. Because even if we are children and teenagers, they are not as strong as we are. And apart from that, we have cold too. The weather, it's extremely cold. So we need to protect us. As we are protecting our properties, we should protect our health and our lives.
Yes, very, very, very important and very key. The rain this time around, it's torrential, it's heavy.
Yes.
And so we need to do a lot. We need to be careful, children. And I like the part where the police also mentioned the fact that children, more parents, school administrators, teachers, everybody, all hands must be on deck to make sure, because sometimes really the children are in school when the and so you need to make sure that all your students all your pupils are in the class.
They don't go home when it's raining.
Exactly. They are not roaming around, you know, it's not that time. Even if they have to go and, you know, ease themselves, and adults must monitor them to make sure that they don't stray. Because children, they want to go somewhere, this is where they are going.
They want to feel the rain.
Exactly. Playfully, they will go and start to
I remember then while in secondary school, when it rains, my school it's on a slopey area. So when it rains, they don't allow, even if it's closing hours, they don't allow us to go home until it stops raining. Yes. Because now imagine my school is built on a hill. If you're coming down, the wind might be taking you to where you don't know. Yes. So they for safety measures, they don't allow students out, except maybe your parents or your guardians, they are coming to pick you. But if you're going by yourself, you have to wait at least till it stops raining. I think schools should also try and take that into account, because right now it is raining cats and dogs.
It is. All right, moving ahead. This one says, fraud. I was desperate to succeed. Convicted Nigerian tells U.S. court. A Nigerian, Onomen Udrebo, who was sentenced by United States District Court on Monday to 3 years and 4 months in prison for his role in a $140,000 tax refund fraud, said he participated in the scheme because he was desperate to succeed in his music career. Newsmaker gathered information from a statement obtained from the website by the U.S. Department of Justice on Tuesday that Udrebo was extradited from the United Kingdom following his indictment for tax refund fraud. According to the statement, the 39-year-old convict had, between 2016 and 2017, alongside other conspirators, filed false tax returns by using a fraudulent email to message the Human Resources Department of various U.S. companies to request employees' details. The statement noted that upon getting the employees' details, the conspirators then used the information from the Web2X to file more than 300 bogus tax returns, claiming more than $1 million in tax refunds. The conspirators targeted companies across the U.S. in this scheme. It continued, thereby admits that he filed 150 of the false tax returns and tracked the refunds and payments to bank accounts that the schemers set up in the names of the victims.
Wow. I mean, one day we are doing good, the other day we are doing bad. I don't even know. You know, today we are celebrating Nigerians for doing good, for being the best in the medical field, for being the best academically, for being the best morally and everything. And yet we have the black sheep.
I was waiting for that. Of course, they are everywhere. There is always a black sheep. No matter how good you think Nigerians can be, there is I think it's everywhere.
It's everywhere, not just in Nigeria.
Not just in Nigeria. There is always everywhere. Not just Nigerians. We have black sheep. But then you can see the amount, $140,000. And these are money meant for people.
Yes.
It's just so sad. Just so sad.
Sad.
Really, really sad.
You know, we are in the news for wrong reasons.
I think it's out of desperation.
He makes mention of he is desperate to succeed. We all want to succeed, but there are some
not at the expense of other people.
Exactly, not at the detriment of others.
Is that supposed to even be an excuse?
It's not. It's not. I think they should put him there more.
If you are so desperate to succeed, then you should be. You should
also be able to be that same desperation.
Put it
into working hard. And you know, I started with, it's not just about working hard, also work smart. Because now what's the essence of having so much money and you can't sleep with both eyes closed? When you hear the siren of peace, you're always thinking, are you sure they're not coming for me? So why would you make a money that you cannot
spend peacefully, you cannot invest peacefully, you're closing one eye to sleep, opening the other one.
Yeah, what's the essence
to
of
watch
it?
around, and you can't even trust your cycle, you know, because everybody is suspect. Even your friends, they are suspects, because you never can tell who will betray you or who will tell on you.
Yeah.
So you're not safe. Whatever you're doing, it's not even safe for you as a person. Talk more of, and you know, those kind of money, you can't even invest in them, because they are money that's gotten in a fraudulent way. You cannot really have a concrete investment and say, okay, this is what I have done. There is this hunger for more. You know, when you take one, you still want to go back for another.
Easy money.
Yes. You still want to go.
Easy.
It's easy. You turn it into a business. But there's a saying that says, one day for the thief, 99 days for the thief, one day for the other.
I don't see that. When you get money the easy way, you tend to be an Oliver Twist. You keep wanting more because you feel like I didn't even do so much and I got this thing. I can do it again.
Maybe if you even get a lesser pay, you'll be like, the business bad.
You tend to work hard. Yeah.
That's hard. That's working hard. That zeal. That passion. Because this is coming from a place of passion, a place of wanting more
and growth.
So if you have that passion for wanting more, for seeking for more, I think
you can also put it into working, into a legitimate work also.
You know that we have so many. We have we had an interview. He said he's into tiling. You can learn tiling. You can learn bricklaying. You can learn carpentry.
I think when you spoke, there was something that I caught about all that I said. He's very hardworking.
Yeah, he's not lazy.
He's not lazy.
So how will you
keeps pushing?
You can't expect someone like that. Well, we can't tell. We can't tell. I want to say we can't expect someone like that to go the other way, but of course we can't tell.
We can't tell.
We can't tell.
I think Nigerians should please stop. There are things we can do. There are things we can do in this country that we make us we put our names
out there for good things. Imagine having children and your child is coming to see that my daddy
is trending.
And
what is he trending
for?
That's wrong.
Very wrong. Very wrong indeed. Very wrong.
At least if you want to trend for
something good, something positive.
Be known for something that when they search your name, they see, oh, my daddy was this, my daddy was that.
You know, I'm proud to have a father like this.
And not for something
yes.
Okay, not for something bad. We should be proud. We should be celebrated for good things.
Yes.
And that is why I will be taking the story. But we have the video accompanying that. Maybe we should just take a look at the video first, because we just talked about a Nigerian who has gone to represent us in a bad light, who was involved in fraud and saying he's desperate.
Desperation.
He did it out of desperation. But we are going to talk about a Nigerian who was desperate to succeed.
Yeah, I like that word. Desperate to succeed.
And he did the right thing. Let's take a look at the video. When I come back, I'll take the story. If we have the video, let it pop up so we can take the story. But if the video is not ready, maybe probably I go straight to taking this very, very something that's really
interesting. Gladdens the heart.
And I'm sure it
as Dr. Oyibo to bestow this award on Timmy Orochi.
Wow. Thank you, Jesus. Stand up, go get your flowers. Thank you, Jesus. Wow! Hey.
Oh, no. This is for my brother. Thanks for coming.
Okay, you might be wondering what's going on there, especially seeing a white guy prostrating for a black man. Okay, let me tell you what happened. Nigerian doctor in US breaks residency record, wins all 8 awards. Program director prostrates to him in honor of Yoruba tribe. In an unprecedented feat that has sent waves of pride, I'm feeling proud, across the Nigerian and black communities worldwide, a young Nigerian doctor, Timileyin Oluseyi, in the United States, has charted records by clinching all 8 top awards in its medical residency program, a landmark achievement never before attained by any resident in the institution's history. The trailblazing physician, Timileyin Oluseyi, is being celebrated across social media. He's not only the first black doctor to sweep the awards, but also outperformed every pair in his cohort, regardless of background. His exceptional clinical excellence, leadership, research contributions, and humanistic care earned him the admiration of faculty and fellows alike. In a moment that left witness emotional, the program director and department chairman went the extra mile, quite literally, by prostrating flat in traditional Yoruba fashion, a gesture of deep respect in Nigerian culture. According to sources, the administrators had researched the cultural significance of the act and decided it was the most fitting way to honor his greatness. I take this quote. The chairman said, and I quote, "We've never seen anything like this. He raised the bar for this program forever," one faculty member shared. But the celebrations didn't end there. In a light-hearted show of admiration, his colleagues jokingly presented him with a wheelbarrow to carry home all his awards, sparkling laughter and joy among attendees.
I like the last part where they brought in the wheelbarrow to take. I was like, good one. God, that's a good one.
Good one.
Yes.
I am so proud. When you were saying, I was just feeling goosebumps. I am so proud right now.
And the fact that all 8 is just like it's telling them that there is no chance for anybody. I'm taking it all.
All of it.
And I think they said nobody, even if you all 8. That's it.
We need to talk after now.
I also like the comments from one of the administrators that said he has reached the bar.
And I hope nobody comes to beat that down.
They can't even beat it. That's all 8. They can be like him, but they cannot beat it.
My God, I'm so proud. I am so proud.
This literally wipes the story.
Yes.
This is how I want to Nigeria
to be recognized.
And the good part is the whites prostrated for him.
I think my God, he made his research.
He did that. You know, it's a huge one.
See, your culture, say when you go down flat.
It means say you don't.
And then for the ladies, your 2 nails
take ground.
Now the cocoa, as far as respect
is concerned in the Yoruba land.
And the program director did not just do,
he didn't bow.
He didn't take a bow. He didn't go halfway to the ground.
I am so proud.
Yes.
Finally.
Yes.
What's more?
What more?
More. I'm looking for the word more. Beautiful, more rewarding, more than that.
Yes. It's a good one. It's a very good one.
For many, this moment is deeper than medals or accolades in a global landscape where black narratives are not often skewed toward negativity. Are too often skewed toward negativity. This historic triumph stands as a powerful counter-narrative this is not just a win for one man.
It is
not
not
a win for Nigeria, for black excellence, and for every underrepresented group striving for greatness, a family member told reports.
This is amazing. I need to do a happy dance after this show.
Taking from this,
Yes.
we want to be represented for
the good things. Yes, not the bad or the wrong narratives.
On the bad lights. I am so proud. I am so proud. My teeth, there's a way I can shine it wider.
All right, let me take this. This is in the sport area of sports really quickly. We talked about it earlier that the legendary goalkeeper Peter Rufai is dead. He died on Thursday after an illness. The Super Eagles made a post on their X handle on Thursday. Okay, and NFF has also reacted to that. May his soul
rest in peace.
Okay.
This is the time for us to say our bye-bye.
Yes, and my final word is do what is good and be known for what is good.
I am happy! That's what I can say.
I also say the same thing. Be known for what is good and known for what is bad. This is all we're wrapping. We'll draw the curtain. Our time is fast spent. Till we meet again next week, I'm Remy Allen. It's bye. Bye.
Bye.